We're getting close. Big races going on in the state. We know about the Senate race and the gubernatorial race happening right now. It's Kay Ivey now. Could be looking at a runoff. She had some big numbers, but here comes Tim James. Look out, everybody. Look out. And he joins us now to talk a little bit more about what's happening in the race and where he stands on some issues. Welcome back in, Tim. Glad to have you.
JT, good morning. Hope you're well.
I am well. Thank you.
On the show.
Thank you very much. You too. Listen, our country is in such crazy turmoil, and I've never seen it this bizarro. I mean, that's the only word I can come up with, is this godless moral decay of all these policies that are happening around our country right now. I do want to talk to you, first of all, about you coming back into politics. I mean, I remember last time we chatted, you thought you were done about 12 years ago, but and you had mentioned that the COVID pandemic situation and our state's public schools brought you back in because you didn't like the direction we're going in.
That's true, and it was other reasons. I think I really thought I'd never be back in politics, JT, and we got in late. Comparatively speaking, we really didn't get in the race till January, get going. But my family, I started to have a pull, I guess, or a call. I thought from the Lord tells us to do something, we have to obey. And we're in a battle for the soul of a nation. We've lost our foundation, our Christian foundation is under an assault, and a nation cannot survive if it leaves and ignores the teachings and what the moral compass and the moral absolutes that the one who created all of us has set before us, and we have,
right,
and that's the war that we're in now.
I want to get your thoughts on three different angles in our school systems right now. First of all, parents' choice about schools. Secondly, how we always end up on the bottom of the list when it comes to achieving goals in math and other curriculum. But also, what in the world are we doing to our kids? Education is front and center right now in your campaign. I think some of this curriculum with CRT and forcing sex discussions in classrooms at a young age, it just no common sense insanity to me. Let's start with that first, and then we'll get to the other issues.
Well, thank you. There is absolutely no common sense anywhere. I mean, a school needs to worry about teaching children to do math, reading, history, science, civics. How about civics for once? And if they would worry about these things, what there was a core classical curriculum, and quit worrying about how they feel, that the touchy-feely stuff will take care of itself. And this sex education, this promotion of the transgender agenda, which is really nothing but the hardcore LGBTQ agenda in this nation to circumvent the nature of God. And it's going on right here in our schools here in Alabama. And it's not just the Magic City thing that we're talking about. It's other schools. There was a middle school in Tuscaloosa that was passing out forms for children to fill out and got into this. So it's everywhere. And it's going to stop. And when I'm elected governor and when I take office, almost all of this is going to stop dead in its tracks. I will not allow our children to be indoctrinated with this stuff that runs directly in conflict with with the nature and the character of God. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, this worked very well for Glenn Youngkin in Virginia as he was up against the Democrat there, the big Democrat Terry McAuliffe, and Glenn Youngkin won based on that very issue you just quoted. We're not going to do this anymore. He told parents, I'm going to stand up for you, and if you want to change schools because you don't like where you're at, how about this? We're going to give you a choice in your school systems. You're pro-choice for parents in schools as well.
That is true. It's embarrassing to say, but over the last dozen years, we've gone from 30s in reading and high 20s in math to dead last in the country. And how does this happen? The revenue has skyrocketed. I am a strong advocate of total school choice, with a voucher system, a tax credit system, where a mom or a dad who are stuck, and this is often most beneficial to lower income families because they're the ones who sort of get stuck, can pull their child out of that school and put them in any other public school that has slots, any charter school, any private school, home school, and I'm against the. I'm not going to put restrictions. I mean, straight parental choice, and get the state out of it. Homeschoolers score 38 to 40% above the national average. We have independent schools, Christian schools, private schools that are teaching children from all demographics that are doing extremely well. That is the answer. It will put competition into the system. Now, JT, let me tell you what they're saying about me. They're talking ugly. They're saying James is going to destroy public education. Well, the truth is they have already destroyed it. So if we keep doing what we're doing it the way they want to do it, we just go deeper into the tank. And my intent is to deconstruct the education system as we know it and build it from the bottom up and turn this thing around. And we don't have to wait 10 years either.
Continuing our conversation with gubernatorial candidate Tim James. Tim, thanks so much for being here. I want to get to the Business Council of Alabama. It seems that Governor Ivey has been pretty influenced by the BCA. Your thoughts on that, and also, how about you? What kind of impact will they have if you do win?
Well, I think the governor has been influenced by the gambling boys, by the marijuana boys, by BCA, and every other institution that controls Montgomery, Alabama, and I'm going to shut them all down. I won't tolerate it. I will represent the people of this state, the working class people. That's where my heart is, and I've watched Montgomery get hijacked. It operates for itself. The structures that have set themselves up are only to serve themselves and not our people. And it's time to bring it all down, crumble it to the ground, and take control of this state. Take control of Montgomery, the political structures, and they must work and serve the people of this state, everyone.
Tim, you know it, I know it. A lot of states have problems with money that is allocated from the feds, i.e. the coronavirus recovery money that's been handed out to all these different states, including our own state. And we all of a sudden see this money going to other uses a lot of times, not only with the COVID pandemic money, but it seems every time we have discussion, the legislature gets together, we split up the pie of the big budget, and here's where this is going, that's going. Then everybody goes home, and all of a sudden that pie gets thrown in the trash, and that money goes to wherever they want to that next week. How do you stop and keep things in line with what voters and the legislators want to do in the beginning of all that?
The budget this year, we wound up with a $1.5 billion surplus in our total budget. A lot of that is because of the COVID money. And KIV basically, her operating procedure, her plan, was that I'm just going to take this money and I'm going to scatter it around like Santa Claus or like Ms. Claus. And this money should have been given back to the people of Alabama. You could have done it through through getting rid of the sales tax on groceries. And I believe in less government. Government should not grow any faster than the rate of inflation. And let me say something about all this federal money. Remember, the federal government, they don't have this money. It's not sitting in a bank account. They're borrowing this money from future generations and passing it out, and our future generations will have to pay for this. This fat lady will sing. This music will stop, and in Alabama, we're going to run our state conservatively, and we're going to act like families have to act in their budgets every day, every week, and be trying our best to be wise and frugal and not spend money like drunk sailors. And like it will last forever. The music will stop. Alabama will be ready when these things happen in a Tim James administration, because I will not get drawn into the hysteria of the moment.
Tim, right now, we wake up again and gas prices are up. It's crazy what the average price is nationally now, over $4.40 per gallon. Governor Ivey was asked to consider repealing or removing permanently or temporarily the 10-cent per gallon gasoline tax, decreasing that to give all of us here in Alabama a bit of a break. She has opted not to do that. Your thoughts on where we are in helping immediate help for folks at the pump?
Well, I was concerned that this would happen, that this inflationary period would last longer than everyone thought, and it has, and it does. And so the gas tax needs to be repealed, but I think right now this thing is getting long in the tooth, the pain of not just the 10 cent, but the entire 28-cent state tax needs to be told or stopped or put aside immediately for a period of time. It's not just the gas tax, JT. It's everything. It's groceries. It's insurance. All this is going up. So just because we're isolating gas tax here, the weight of it on top of everything else is getting very painful on the people of Alabama. And sometimes you do it. Sometimes you just toll is the term, or stop a tax, and so it immediately puts money back in people's pockets.
All right. Well, I sure hope you do well throughout the rest of the campaign, Tim. Best of luck to you, and we will have you back. Governor candidate Tim James, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.